Hey guys, Deo here. A very different video for today. I just want to give my opinions on the recent news that gaming addiction is to be listed as a mental health condition by the World Health Organization. Before I talk about this, people who are going overly defensive like calling out how stupid this is without giving proper argument points only strengthens their case. So don't do that. It only further proves their point. Disclaimer, I am not a doctor, just a gamer. First, I will be covering what the World Health Organization are considering to be a gaming addiction based from the BBC article. Gaming addiction is going to be included in the 11th International Classification of Diseases or ICD. The ICD is a guide that contains codes for diseases, signs, and symptoms and is used by doctors and researchers to track and diagnose a disease. The draft document describes it as a pattern of persistent or recurrent gaming behavior so severe that it takes precedence over other life interests. It will suggest that abnormal gaming behavior should be in evidence over a period of at least 12 months for a diagnosis to be assigned, but added that period might be shortened if symptoms are severe. Symptoms include impaired control over gaming, which includes the frequency, intensity, and duration, increased priority given to gaming, and continuation or escalation of gaming despite the negative consequences. According to Dr. Richard Graham, it is significant because it creates the opportunity for more specialized services. It puts it on the map as something to be taken seriously. He also added it could lead to confused parents whose children are just enthusiastic gamers. He said he sees about 50 new cases of digital addiction each year, and his criteria are based on whether the activity is affecting basic things such as sleeping, eating, socializing, and education. Many psychiatrists refer to the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorder, the 5th edition of which was published in 2013, in that Internet gaming disorder is listed as a condition for further study, meaning it is not officially recognized, then the rest are just some information from other studies regarding gaming addiction. Let's talk about the symptoms. Impaired control over gaming. Basically, it is self-control when it comes to gaming. Looks like the severity of the addiction is going to be based on frequency, intensity, probably whether how they react while gaming, and duration. I don't know how they will implement this criteria since everyone reacts differently to stimuli. Increased priority given to gaming. It depends on what he or she sees as a lesser priority than gaming. It also means how it affects a person's functioning capacity, such as eating and sleeping. For example, not going to work to play games, which is fine depending on the situation. We all had that moment where we would rather stay home than go to work, but how frequent it is done should also be looked at. Continuation or escalation of gaming despite negative consequences. This is kind of self-explanatory. Doing an activity without any proper rest can be hazardous to our health. These kinds of remind me of smoking and alcoholism. We know it is bad, but we still consume them, especially people who develop an addiction to them. Using these symptoms as a criteria is a step in the right direction, but if there is a way to make it more specific, it would be better. You probably have that one friend who you used to keep seeing or hanging out with but suddenly just disappeared after he or she started playing World of Warcraft or another game with addictive grinding gameplay. We can't really blame game developers since it is their job to make a game that keeps people playing. This is more for the people in the extreme levels who can't control themselves, but we can't be certain if it is really gaming addiction or another underlying cause. It has been stated that depression and anxiety can also be the cause for gaming addiction due to the fact that most people play games to cope with stress or escape from their own reality, which would be good if they could rule in first the underlying cause for the gaming addiction. This is why mental illnesses are hard to diagnose and treat, because how different every person is from experiences to genes. The person could have an addictive or compulsive personality, and that could add more complexity to the diagnosis. Even the treatment is not yet sure if it can help the person. Since gaming is still young and has a lot of factors affecting it, it may take a few more years before a proper way of diagnosing someone with gaming addiction, or it can even be removed as a mental illness if enough data is gathered. Gaming addiction isn't just about PC or console, it also includes mobile games. What I learned from all of this is that if something starts to affect you on how you function, such as going to work, doing your responsibilities, or just taking care of yourself, it may become a problem or it may be caused by another underlying issue. Don't get mad from the headline alone. Take your time to read the article and think about the people who are actually affected by this. You are not the only gamer. Thanks for listening.